morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Hello. Brian, I'm excited today. We got a little hiccup in the weather where Beth Curtis is experiencing some troubles with her party. And so we are going to share with you our intro. Here we go.
Okay, now look at me. Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. Okay, look at me. Yeah, look at me. Look at the camera. Yeah. Put your. I'm your host, Jeff Eichen, human rights advocate and social activist fighting for government deregulation of weed and the release of all nonviolent criminals incarcerated for possession of marijuana. Moving violations, parking tickets, IRS debt, etc. Here on Weeds Day, we keep the public informed about all things weed related, including festivals and legislation surrounding regulating the growth of hemp. Good morning, ladies and germs. It's Jeff Eichen, and I hope you're not all germied, but that your seeds are germinating, and it is time to plant. Welcome today, former 420 inmate, prisoner for life without parole, Paul Free. I'm really blessed. We had Beth Curtis from Life for Pot booked and scheduled, but she has trees down in this silly weather pattern we're having, and no electricity. So welcome, Paul, and welcome everybody to Weeds Day. We're really blessed to have Paul Free join us because he's free, and he was not free, and that silly, stupid law, 3 strikes and in jail for nonviolence, has got to go. Jim Crow, the browns and blacks, disproportionate in jail for marijuana. And we're blessed to have Tommy Chong replay today. So just know that, Oprah's doing her job. I'm doing my job. Amy and Beth and all of our team, the Can Do Clemency, and everybody else in the reform movement, we're doing our jobs. We're even making hemp clothing and trying to get the plant recognized and bringing all of our prisoners home. It's such a blessing to have prisoners freed, and you don't understand or feel what they feel or what I feel when I'm interviewing them in prison, and I leave and I know they're going back to a jail cell. So my emotions are high and mighty, and I'm really happy to help to end Schedule 1 drug marijuana, because cocaine's Schedule 2, and to bring our prisoners home without any record so they can get work and jobs and greet their families. So here we are today. Thank you so much, everybody. Weeds Day, Jeff Eichen, Hemp Hooray.
Hey, everybody. Jeff Eichen here. Actually, so I don't have all of it yet, don't think that you can comprehend the emotion that it takes to know you're innocent and to be in jail for quite a while, a lifetime, 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, 5 years, 1 year. I've seen the inside, but I didn't stay. And I see Oprah in our opening. She was going to lockdown in California. They're losing their lockdown. And so I'm really excited to talk about, the people that are helping us to come home and be who they are, what they are, where they are. We're populating Paul right now. Hello, Paul. Can you hear me? Hello, iPhone. So in the meantime, while they're working on their technical hours there, when there's all everybody that wants to join us, we are definitely going to be part of the solution to end prohibition globally, so we can make paper, fiber, fuel, medicine, and food. The hemp seed is a leading delight, has no GMOs, and it's got an amino acid and a protein that is good enough for us, or vegans that don't eat meat. And so just think about all the meat and what they're putting in. Hello? I'm trying to reach our other guests there. I guess they check that in, So that's the nature of doing these shows, having people come, figure it out. And I'm so excited to have you all on today to listen to a replay with Tommy Chong. Whether we get Paul free or not, we'll get him in the future. And so we're going to try again here. Hey, got some audio coming here connecting. Somewhere in iPhone land, we'll get our beautiful people to come in and dance with us. So in the meantime, until we get them, it's me, your host, Jeff Eichen. And you all know that I did a movie about prisoners in jail for a plant, for marijuana. This tie that I'm wearing, it says THC, yes, and this tie was made by the Hempstead Company about 30 years ago. And it's beautiful. It's just like linen, and there's no reason that we should have a dirty cotton industry when we have a beautiful hemp plant that needs to be decorticated and financed to grow in America. Here's our loading line, the line there. And it's my shoes. I have an advertisement here to show you that I'm willing and able to navigate the hemp space and to bring hemp to, I don't recommend hemp for smoking as regular hemp cigarettes, but I think they're better than regular cigarettes. And so I don't want too much smoke in my lungs. So vaping is good. Staying hydrated is good. All day long drinking water or juice, smoothies. And so we are totally gifted and blessed to be able to have some Tommy Chong today. And we'll see if our guests can get in finally. And we'll see how that rolls here. Sometimes our guests are having a little bit of a bandwidth problem. So don't worry if you can hear me, that you're having a hard time coming on. I can hear you a little bit, but that's the Sherlock of doing Weeds Day. So coming back to me here. Let's get back to me here. Well,
Hey, Jeff,
yes,
sorry, can you hear me?
I can hear you for sure.
It's sorry for what sorry, I'm having an issue logging into the internet, but I wanted to show up and do that.
Hey, well, you are here. Welcome today. We're live. We're streaming live. And when I get new people on, I want them to introduce themselves and to my audience and to, I wish you could shake hands with Paul Free and with Tommy Chong, but we're just going to have a replay of Tommy because Beth and Paul couldn't make it today. Well, we don't know about Paul. He said he'd be here. And he was in jail for 20 years for marijuana. And I was telling the folks today that you don't know how I feel when I go into a prison to film somebody, and then I leave. On the day I leave, I get to go get pizza, go bungee jumping, get on a plane, come home, water my plants, and they're still in jail. So nobody knows how I feel once one of these humans that I spoke to comes home and comes free. And then we don't know how they feel.
It's horrible. It sounds horrible. It's criminal and should never happen. Ever.
Oh, without a doubt, So that's my world. I'm dedicated to the day I die to get every weed prisoner home, and then advocate for the Jim Crow and for people that are nonviolent, to come home also. But our space is the 420 space. That's why I've linked up with Tommy Chong. He's my buddy, and I've done many projects with him. And now we're getting ready, or I'm getting ready to do my second film called The Families, and I want to interview all the freed prisoners and even the ones that are still in, and give the story that I'm trying so desperately to share with everybody on the feelings, the emotion, the empathy that we have for these prisoners and how long it is.
Did you hear about the recent arrest? Cannabis in the car in Alabama, which is a problem.
Shame on the industry for not grabbing a hold of everything that we need to have. We need to have so many reforms done. These stupid old school laws, and it's horrible that it's even happening now. I mean, one of the most intrepid, meaning fearful conversations that I don't like to go in the direction. But I grew up being Jewish. Okay? There was only 2 Jews in my school, and everybody was, envious of the Jews because we had so many stay-home days, because we had so many holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Passover, and 7 days of Hanukkah, and all my kid friends were like jealous of us. But when I went to Hebrew school, we learned about World War II and about mongers and people that are not nice and that are doing things that are antiquated and never should have been. There should have never been hatred, anyways. If anybody in the war world, the war on drugs or the war on people world, goes to church, they know that Jesus, Buddha, and Krishna were about love. So why are we even having this conversation when marijuana is getting to be legal? So I'm ready to do my next film. I'm ready for an angel investor. I'm ready for a team. I'm ready to bring all the prisoners to Maui or to LA or to wherever there's a studio and a place where they can celebrate and film that film in one weekend with their kids, with their people. I don't want to travel to 6 or 10 or 12 or 50 different places. I want to do it all in one time. Let's get LPP. Let's get everybody together and tell the story.
I'm with the artist and definitely love to watch the show.
Without a doubt. I think we met on a morning 420 space in Clubhouse.
Yeah, I don't remember. I have that. But when I heard it so long, I can't remember where.
You, you mean at Canacon or Jack Erica?
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about what you do. Introduce yourself and tell the globe, because we're broadcasting globally with the internet here and with IBM TV. Tell everybody who you are and how you support it.
So the family myself, my name is Terry Cook, and I'm the founder of we've been around since 2014, and we just recently had some milestones from the island, entrepreneurship and pipeline, which was driving discovery and teaching. So the country has speaking of what the U.S. Virgin Islands and people, it's an Iraq and Ireland, some boy, December, that was cannabis even created and to sustain the benefits of the plant. We just launched, our local cannabis TV channel on Roku and the TV, the Android TV, Amazon Fire, Amazon app, online. We're waiting on Samsung and LG smart TVs, and then we're able to start. We have 6 years, 7 years of content delivery plans, talking about people, charities, story, cannabis, we have a regional series, a series like the quarter, which is super changing our technology. There's a total of cannabis in we're 2 years ago. There's a partner, with Silver, I believe he's leader now. He's 3 and 10 years old.
Maybe Landon was in my movie, my first movie. Yeah, I asked Baby Landon when Jeff Session was being a jerk off, you know, with the Dawn. I asked Baby Landon, "What did cannabis do for you?" And he said, "Oh, it made my hair grow back." How do you say a kid is lying and marijuana should be legal and alcohol should not be? You know, so I put that in my movie front and center, and he's my poster child. I know the Cannibals. Yeah, I'd like to do a whole movie on just the Cannibals.
And allow me to get that important to align and build misinformation out to the masses. So kudos to you for having a global online show and your question.
Well, Terry, you're a sweetheart and sure a hemstress and hemp parade and a ganjapreneur, you know, and it's great to meet you also.
I love what you're doing, and prisoners need people to fight for them. You know, a lot of non-prison projects and a lot of activists they got some money behind them, but and kudos to them as well. But there's some real, there's people that pursue for station peace and you know, freedom through it. Like that was public prisoners for a long time, and there's hard.
We've been on the front line so long. You know, I was with Jack Herer in the 80s and 90s on the steps on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles, having bands and activism tables, and we filmed I photographed the first hemp clothing catalog. We printed it on hemp paper and hemp ink, and Larry Servin, who's the importer of all the fabric in America, he's still around, and he brought us all the hemp fabric and helped that whole project go through. And Jack rewrote the book Emperors with Ellen Comp in my living room in LA.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and one day Jack gave me $301 bills with his big belly in the shower, and he said, "Fly, Mr. Eichen." And I put my khakis on and my alligator shirt, and I went to the state capitol in 1995, and I walked in the first initiative that made marijuana legal in all of the U.S. So I'm an elder and a good person to know.
Wow. Yes, you are.
Because they were so stoned, everybody that wrote it, it was going to be too late the following day. I flew up. I took dollars to the Southwest Airlines in LAX, and I flew the F up there. And my buddy picked me up in a sack of potatoes and drove me to the state capitol. And the lady took the pin off my lapel, and it said "Hemp will save the planet." And it was one of those classic old hemp pins. And I saw her putting it on in the elevator as she was going up.
Amazing.
Now, who's going to do my story? You know, I sat at the poolside with Tommy Chong, and he said, "Go get your camera. I'm ready to talk." And I got to film Tommy, you know. And so, you know, I definitely want to get bigger, wilder, wider, and I want to get sponsors for my show so I can start monetizing my next project and my world so I don't go down. And so we can support each other. It sounds like a great marriage.
Well, definitely, we will talk and back the channel now, and we don't mind others and story lessons, so we have to support that as well.
And I have 50 episodes in the can.
Wow. How about voice content?
Those days I wasn't a filmmaker, but I do have lots of, you know, I have interviews with John Sally, you know, a ring, you know, with Kobe, you know, and I have interviews that haven't been touched. Nobody's asked for them, and so I can dig up into my own digital archives and produce, you know, like maybe I could have 1 month or 1 week out of the month I could have an old school day.
I love that.
You know, on my show it could just be old school, and I can get, you know, well, I can get Dan Harrer, you know, he's my buddy, and that's Jackson. Well, no, he's been on my show 10 times, you know, Dan and Vivian, and, you know, everybody's my buddy, and my co-host was, you know, Stacy's been on my show as a co-host, Amy Pova, you know, all the people you know have been on my show, and it's just time that the angels, the Canna Angels, brought us together.
I love it. That's what we're talking about. Great people who've been working with us about 4 or 5 years of content, United States content.
I filmed for free. I filmed Seattle Hemp Fest for the last, you know, maybe 10 years or something. You know, Sharon, who used to run Hemp Fest with Vivian, she's been very, very sick the last 6 months, and she seems to be beating her cancer. And we're not afraid to say the C word or the prison word. We just want to support, be empathetic and compassionate, and you know, if Buddha was joy, Krishna was reincarnation, and Jesus was forgiveness, there's some things you can't forgive, like throwing our boys and women in jail for life for cannabis. But at the end of the day, they're coming home and they've got their stories to tell. So between all of us, I am the Pee Wee Herman of the Anthony Bourdain world, telling the story so I can get every prisoner on every week, and we can go to Roku and have a new prisoner or multiple prisoners on that's saying, we're happy to be home, and I've got so many beautiful ideas and for their well-being, that it's going to be an amazing time. I want to pay them. I want to give them restitution.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's enough money and a lot of businesses out there that can anything to give some packages to some of these former prisoners to, get a little bit of a head start.
Michael Thompson, who I went to film in Michigan, was released this year. And once I get back in touch with Michael, he wanted to do a concert with me. I have a 420 with Sensi Magazine album that we dropped last year, and I've got 20 musicians. I want to do a tour. I want every musician, every freed prisoner on that tour. I want to go to 5 different, states. Just keep it small, but really beautiful, like Colorado, New York, Miami, LA, and Seattle. Those 5 places we had the concert. 30,000 people would come to the concert, once pandemic is over, and we would have a trust fund for the prisoners. I've already written this down and thought about it. I want to give them each $30,000 in a trust for food and shelter as our gift for them being locked away for us, because then and only then will they, feel a little gratitude and forget.
I think some, education and job training and things like that, money can help people if you don't know how to use it.
Well, my Loctite system is a trust fund for each prisoner, and they can only use the money for food and shelter. It's going to be held by us. We will hold it. Yeah. We'll hold it. You and I will hold that money in a trust, and then they call in and say, I need $1,000 for rent this month, or they come on a program. When they use it up, they use it up.
Interesting.
So we get a card. They each.
I wonder if you get some food stores to contribute some funds or gift cards and things like that.
Well, once we get on a roll and the paradigm is built, when we build the ship, we'll get it filled. Our sails will be full with the wind to move that ship along. Just like, Stacy and the Cannabis, But the thing is, the Cannabis is not raising $30,000 per prisoner, and we don't have that many prisoners, and we have all this hypocrisy of these millionaires at the stations where they're legal states, and they're making a lot of money selling pot that is not even that good because it's grown indoors, right? And so the bottom line is that we got to bust all of the people that are making the money right now, and that either can't put it in the bank or they have it at home, to know that this could be your father. Because when we get the DeLisi's on, she was the daughter of Richard DeLisi, and she was 3 years old when her daddy went in. She's 35 and he got out in December. And so Ashley has a story. I don't want to do a movie on each person. Everyone's jockeying in LBB. Everyone's jockeying to get, I'm going to do that movie. I'm going to do that movie. The bandwidth does not need a movie on each free prisoner. It's not about making money or getting that next prisoner. For me, I've already done Lifers with Tommy Chong, Lifers Madness, just like Reaper. I want to do one movie called The Families. I want everybody to listen to the children that didn't get to grow up with their daddy and went at 7 years old to the playground, and everyone said, your daddy's in jail for love, whatever, and how that affected them and how they're reintegrating into life.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's the documentary I want to do. And I was sad that I didn't go to North Carolina this weekend, but all you people out there, keep me informed. Bring me on. I'll film while I'm there, every prisoner, because there was a lot of ex-prisoners together again in a room, and I didn't get to go to the boat trip either. But I'm back and I'm ready to roll. I'm at your service.
I love it. Well, I love it. We'll have to talk maybe next week about some of these projects and see how we can take it from idea to steps.
Do I have your contact? Were we emailing each other?
Yeah, I should put up the link today. I think you're on Telegram, either LinkedIn or something, but it's Terry, Terry.
Here, we're online. We're online, so just go into the chat box. I just sent you a chat.
Oh,
Yeah, so just chat me up in there. Let's totally stay close. And even in your bold overall production, maybe one day, if it resonates with you, you can you can you can use me as a spokesperson. I'll come on your show, or we'll do in the can little 30-second or 10-second spots and say, "This is Jeff Eichen from WEEDSDAY. We support, your network, or step it up, everybody." And I'll do some really beautiful spots for you.
I love it. Great.
You can see me on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, I'll show you a little production here. We got everybody. We're with Terry. What's your last name, Terry?
Terry Hardy.
Oh, we're with Carrie Accardi, everybody, on WEEDSDAY, and I'm going to share my screen with you all here, everybody, and show you a little bit. I have a little bit of
prisoners community guidance. So we have to talk to prisoners on this second about what's wrong with this picture, and then we want to say question one to Tom.
So everybody, that is totally Sir Tommy, and he's going to pop in and out today. And we're with Carrie. Carrie, what more can you tell the audience a little bit about your time directed?
Yeah, well, I mean, I love it's a game changer not only for myself but in our goals, but it's going to be a game changer for you, for Tommy Chong, and for all these other activists and patients and medical professionals and athletes who are trying to get their story out there, but we have not one full umbrella to just go get that consistent information. So that's what we hope to attain with Connected TV. It's CANNECTED.TV, has all the direct links to download
That's connected, everybody. That's connected. And
Exactly, because we're all connected.
And-
Like the endocannabinoid system is in all of our bodies, whether it's Israel or New York, Seattle. So it's always to be a beautiful thing to work with people like yourself and others across the globe, as we've been doing, to, you know, share those stories, like you said, and share that experience, because, you know, just like the prisoners, there's people that lost loved ones. I know I have. And there's people who have, you know, lost family or fights just because they use cannabis or their choices. And it's just a lot of, it takes a lot to be in the space to stand up for a plant, to lose your friends and family. And, you know, those are the people who you want to support, that I want to support, because, you know, like I said, I got into this because my aunt died. She was my best friend in the world. She was 55 years old. She did not have to suffer and die the way I watched. And as far as I'm concerned, we have a medical system, not a medical system that is there to help the people for real on their underlying diseases or traumas, which is what often causes.
one of the
disease.
Canon nurses told me education.
Education, yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
And
you know, I think there's a lot of things getting completed now too, because, you know, when I first got into this space, the way I am now, people didn't know what CBT was. They barely believed in cannabis, and now in the past year, the same people are so-called experts, and they are spreading information which is often false. So I think it's really important that, and which is really why I'm so excited about releasing this content in the channel, and in the fall we'll really advocate or really get the heavy content out in the longer programming.
I think one of your main lines can be dedicated to the real story.
We have a lot of that. Yeah, Jeff, you're gonna love what we have. I mean, like I said, Vivian knows me for a long time, and we work one-on-one. My background is a producer, a director, I'm an editor, and I'm a trained actor. So this isn't a new game for me to be in. Cannabis and media was, and that's no longer a new game either. So in 2021, we have a streaming channel, we have a media agency. I'm in the process of signing paperwork to have a nonprofit. We're going to be starting cannabis medicine patient scholarships. We're going to be connecting with people across the globe to make sure those patients can get their medicine at a cost-effective price. And then we're going to hit up the globe fiscally, just like Red Cross and others do. Donate $1 a day to save a cannabis patient, and I'm happily going to distribute that across our networks and channels, as well as our colleagues and media partners. So it is very exciting time, and you know, when those prisoners are out of jail, and doctors can put that in spoil as medicine instead of chemotherapy or other poisons, then we're in a really good position. But we've got a long time coming.
Well, it's education about RSO and CBD as a magic bullet. We, as producers, cannot say it works, but we can have people that walk in like Baby Landon and say it made my hair grow back. Then you make your choice, everybody. What restaurant you want to go to? You want to eat beef and ostrich burgers, or do you want to go vegan and have a hemp burger?
I love that for sure.
You know, hemp has an amino acid that nothing else has. I've been a raw vegan for 18 years, and I eat hemp in my smoothie every day. And hemp is protein, and we got to start getting the hemp industry huge and better and going in America. Not just to make hemp cigarettes again. I mean, excuse me, marijuana people. Hemp makes plastic. It makes homes, hempcrete, and here, if you can see my screen, there's a hempcrete ball. You know, let's make our homes with hempcrete, and let's produce it. Let's have a show on it. Let's get hemp architects on. Let's show the world that it's time to make this mother trucker not illegal anymore. Let's re-legalize it globally. If Portugal and Uruguay can do it, and Oregon, you know,
They just legalized everything in Oregon, including plant medicine. And so there's a reason for everything, including us meeting today. Any final words? We're at the top of the hour, Carrie.
I just want to tell you, I want to say thank you for having me on, and thank you for having a show like this. It's so important to share this messaging and really break through the barriers. And, you know, I used to feel like, hey, one person could really change, I'd be happy. But the fact that we could keep millions or hundreds of millions, that makes a change on a global level. And let's save those prisoners, and let's save people from having to go down a dark road of chemotherapy and radiation when they can eat at home and have a nice fecal oil or smoke and feel just as good. So thank you so much for having me on here. And again, it's Carrie Accardi, 420 Media, and Connected TV.
Fantastic. Connected is a beautiful word, just like Rama's Day and Weeds Day. I've been doing this for several years now. This is the new peace sign.
I love it.
That's weed.
Kind of looks like the Virgin Islands. They do like this kind of.
Can you see my 3 fingers up?
Yeah.
That's the new peace sign. So we go 3, peace, 2, and F schedule 1. So we go 3, 2, 1, and we can do a countdown for your show. We go 3, 2, 1, F schedule 1, everybody. Welcome to Canna Connected.
I love it. Good stuff, that's for sure.
Well, Carrie, you're the best. If you stay on, you can stay on for a second here, and we're going to roll out of here. Thanks, Carrie, for coming on and filling the circles. Otherwise, you get a full Tommy today. Tommy was great. There's a little Tommy there.
I can find. And yeah, I worked in a cookie factory.
He worked in a cookie factory. God bless you, Tommy. And we're gonna roll out here with my outro. Let's see if I can find it.
Okay, now look at me. Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. Okay, look at me. Yeah, look at me. Look at the camera. Yeah. Put your. I'm your host, Jeff Eichen, human rights advocate and social activist fighting for government deregulation of weed and the release of all nonviolent criminals incarcerated for possession of marijuana, moving violations, parking tickets, IRS debt, etc. Here on Weeds Day, we keep the public informed about all things weed related, including festivals and legislation surrounding regulating the growth of hemp. Good morning, ladies and germs. It's Jeff Eichen, and I hope you're not all germied, but that your seeds are germinating, and it is time to plant. Welcome today, former 420 inmate, prisoner for life without parole, Paul Free. I'm really blessed. We had Beth Curtis from Life for Pot booked and scheduled, but she has trees down in this silly weather pattern we're having, and no electricity. So welcome, Paul, and welcome everybody to Weeds Day. We're really blessed to have Paul Free join us because he's free, and he was not free, and that silly, stupid law, 3 strikes and in jail for nonviolence has got to go. Jim Crow, the browns and blacks, disproportionate in jail for marijuana, and we're blessed to have Tommy Chong replay today. So just know that Oprah's doing her job, I'm doing my job, Amy and Beth and all of our team, the Can Do Clemency, and everybody else in the reform movement, we're doing our jobs. We're even making hemp clothing and trying to get the plant recognized and bringing all of our prisoners home. It's such a blessing to have prisoners freed and you don't understand or feel what they feel or what I feel when I'm interviewing them in prison, and I leave and I know they're going back to a jail cell. So my emotions are high and mighty, and I'm really, really happy to help to end Schedule 1 drug marijuana, because cocaine's Schedule 2, and to bring our prisoners home without any record so they can get work and jobs and greet their families. So here we are today. Thank you so much, everybody. Weed Day, Jeff Eichen, Hem Hem Hooray.